Dear students, I am Dr. S.B. Savarkar, Professor, Department of Physics, Sri Shivaji College, Akola. Today I welcome you all for our third lecture on Unit 5 on elasticity. In this lecture, we will discuss Poisson ratio, relation between y, eta and k, then beam and bending of beam. First we discuss Poisson's ratio. When load is applied to the free end of the wire, its length increases and diameter decreases. Supposedly this is a wire whose one end is fixed and load is applied at the lower end. It's due to the application of this load, length of wire increases. At the same time, its diameter decreases. So increase in longitudinal extension in the wire is accompanied by the lateral contraction. Here the length increases. At the same time, its diameter decreases. So there are the two strains produced here. One due to the longitudinal extension, which is the longitudinal strain, and another due to lateral contraction, which produces due to decrease in diameter of wire, and another type of this strain, it is a lateral strain. And ratio of lateral strain to longitudinal strain is constant, and this constant is called Poisson's ratio. It is called Poisson's ratio, which is denoted by sigma. Let's say let L is original length of wire, and D is original diameter of wire. Delta L is will be the change in length of wire, and delta D is change in diameter, of wire. Then longitudinal strain is equal to the change in length divided by original length, that is, it is delta L by L, and it is denoted by alpha, letter alpha equal to delta L by L, and lateral strength beta is equal to the change in diameter divided by original diameter. Change in diameter is delta D divided by original diameter of wire is D, and therefore Poisson's ratio is equal to lateral strain divided by longitudinal strain, that is, it is beta by alpha. Beta is here delta D by D. Alpha means here longitudinal strain, it is delta L by L. So it is equal to L into delta D divided by L into delta divided by d into delta L. This is sigma. So this is the Poisson's ratio sigma. The value of this Poisson's ratio sigma mainly depends on the nature of the material of the body. Now we discuss we obtain the relation between y k and eta, relation between y k and eta. The relation between y k and sigma is y is equal to 3k into 1 minus 2 sigma, let it be equation number 1, and relation between y eta and sigma is y is equal to 2 eta in bracket 1 plus sigma, let it be equation 2. Now from equation 2, if we multiply this bracket by 2 and transfer this eta to the left hand side, then we have, by multiplying to this bracket, we get 2 into 1 plus sigma means 2 plus 2 sigma. It is 2 plus 2 sigma is equal to the y by eta. Let it be equation number 3. And from equation number 1, transfer 3k to the left hand side, then we have 1 minus 2 sigma is equal to y by 3k, equation 4. Now adding equation 3 and 4, adding equations 3 and 4, we get 2 plus 1 means 3. And here 2 sigma minus 2 sigma gets cancelled, so 3 is equal to y by eta plus y by 3k. Now multiplying both sides by 3 by y, we get 9 by y, 3 by y means here we get 3 by eta. Here if we multiply this y by eta by 3 by y, 3 by eta plus, if we multiply this y by 3k by 3 by y, we get 1 by k. So this is the relation. 9 by y is equal to 3 by eta plus 1 by k. This relation, equation number 5, it is the relation between y, k and eta, where y is Young modulus, eta is modulus of rigidity of material of wire, and k is the bulk modulus. Now we discuss about beam and bending of beam. So let us first see what is beam. So a rod or a bar of uniform cross section whose length is much greater than its thickness is called beam. So beam is the rod or bar of uniform cross section whose length is much greater than its thickness. A beam can be bent by two different ways. When external force is applied, let us discuss now bending of beam. Bending of beam. So beam can be bent by two ways. In one case, beam is fixed at one end and loaded at the other end. Bending will take place in this beam in this manner, and such a beam it is called cantilever. Beam is clamped horizontally at one end and loaded at other. It is called cantilever. And another way of bending is beam supported at two ends and loaded at middle or at the center. Suppose this is a beam which is fixed at two ends and loaded at the center. By applying load, loaded at the center, its bending will take place like this. Because these are the two knife edges, and bending will take place in this manner due to application of load at the center. So in this way, the bending can be done by two ways. First one called cantilever, when the beam is fixed at horizontally at one end and loaded at other, and in another case the beam is fixed at two ends and loaded at the center. So beam may be considered to be made up of the large number of the parallel layers. Suppose this is a beam, it is made up of very large number of the parallel layers, and each layer supposed to be composed of large number of longitudinal filaments. Large number of longitudinal filaments. In this case, here ABCD is a beam which is fixed at one end and loaded at the other end. Bending takes place in this manner here. When the load is applied, bending takes place, and it is observed that the layers above the middle of the beam are subjected to longitudinal extensional forces, and the layers below the middle layer are subjected to the contractional forces. Hence, due to these extensional forces, the layers above the middle beam gets elongated and the layers below the layer gets contracted. So contraction and extension in the filaments will take place. Those filaments which are above this line middle gets elongated, and filaments below the line E up are gets contracted. Now let us discuss what is neutral surface. Let us see neutral surface. So this layer along E up layer in the middle of the beam which neither elongates nor contracts but remains of the same length. It is called neutral surface. Then second one, plane of bending. Plane of bending. Let us see what is plane of bending. The plane in which the beam bends, it is called plane of bending. Plane of bending. And third one, neutral axis. So neutral axis, the line of intersection of the plane of bending and the neutral surface is called the neutral axis. In this diagram, EF is a neutral axis. So, in this way we have studied neutral surface. Neutral surface means the surface or the layer in the middle, that is along EF, in which no elongation or extension and contraction takes place. It is the neutral surface. The surface or the layer in the middle of the beam which neither elongates nor contracts but remains of the same length. Plane of bending means the plane in which the beam bends, it is a plane of bending. And last is the neutral axis. It is the line of intersection of the plane of bending and the neutral surface. So let us stop here. Thank you.